Hello and welcome back to this episode of RADBMX Builds. I just showed off a little bit of my GT team series and then the big mess of parts on the table behind me. What is that for? 3 different builds that I'm waiting on right now, and one of them is going to be in this video, and that's going to be the Mongoose Pro class that we talked about in the last video. If you didn't see the last video, or any of the other 315 YouTube videos I've uploaded, make sure you give us a subscribe right now and then go check those out after this video. I appreciate those of you that have been watching this YouTube channel because the last month has been the best month for me on Instagram, and I hit some incredible milestones. 15,000 subscribers, 2 million views, and that's because of you. So thank you so much for watching these. We're gonna make another rad video right now, and you're gonna be a part of that because these 2 builds are custom-made GTs that I'm waiting on that are off at Powder Coat. The Pro Class build is ready to go. I have all the parts, and it's off at Powder Coat right here in Boerne, Texas. So I don't really have to wait on that. I'm just waiting on the text to say, come get it. I'm ready, the parts are ready, I know you're ready, so as soon as that text comes in, we'll jump in the car, head over there and get it, and build us one rad bike. But while we're waiting, let's go over the parts list here. We have a set of 20-inch Pro Class wheels with the blue rim strip, and then I went ahead and put on the blue anodized valve stem cap, blue anodized axle washer, and then we have some blue Comp 3 style gum wall tires. The rear is a 21.175, and the front one's gonna be fatter, like the old school 20 by 2.125. So a much bigger tire on the front, just like you would in the old school days. A blue seat, a silver stem. Big shout out to Amy, of course. Amy grips, die-comp brakes, and then we have one-piece cranks with the Pro Class style power disc. And we have some blue Welgo Bear Trap pedals, Pro Class decals, Pro Class pads, which I'm just gonna keep a secret where I got those, white chain, and then of course all the hardware to build the bike back up when it gets here. So all the parts are here. What's off at Powder Coat? Okay, off at Powder Coat is the frame, the forks, and the bars. That's right. I'm custom powder coating all 3 of those parts a custom color. And it's gonna be a variation of a color. You're like, what are you talking about? I talked to my powder coater and I said, hey, I wanna do it this color. And he said, I have that color, but with a twist, and convinced me to go ahead and go with that. So this is gonna be a full custom color on brand new powder coat. And I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be better in the light. And unfortunately right now, I'm in Texas. It's cold, it's cloudy. Tomorrow's even supposed to sleet, rain, and maybe snow, which is wild because I'm in South Texas. But I'm hoping that we get some sunlight after we build this bike so you can see the color out under the sun. But don't worry, by the end of the video, I promise you, we'll have it outside in the sun so you'll see it before the end of the video. Speaking of videos, in the last one, I talked about selling my Mongoose Super Goose and my 1979 Redline MX2, which was fantastic. And then a lot of people got, I don't know, sad and depressed that they didn't get to buy a bike. Well, I'm gonna tell you how. The best way to buy a bike is go to my Instagram, RAD_BMX_builds, because things happen in real time there. And as soon as a bike's available, I will create a post saying that bike is now available, and I put it on my website, the only place you can buy a bike. You can't wait for a YouTube video to come out or wait for something to come out and be like, well, how much is that bike? And I'm gonna tell you why.
As soon as those bikes hit the website, they were gone. One of them in under a minute, the other one in under 5 minutes. The website is RADBMXBUILDS.com. You can buy merch, you can buy bikes when they're available, you can buy other things there every now and then, but the only way you're gonna buy something from me is through my website and nowhere else. But you want that up to date when something's going live on there? Get over to the Instagram, give us a follow. We appreciate that.
And while we're waiting, and I talked about GTs earlier, let's talk about GTs. This is a GT Nation Tommy Bracken's replica build, a 1-of-1 20-inch, signed by Craig Turner, and on the dropout, stamped RADBMX, which is way down here, and I don't know if I'm gonna get it on film or not, but right there on the dropout says RADBMX. So a true collaboration with GT, a true 1-of-1. And since we're talking about GTs, you got to see my Team Series, and then up top is my Pro Series. That's a 1989 Pro Series with its matching 1989 GT Mach 1. And then we get a little older, a 1987 GT Pro Series with its little brother, the 1987 GT Mach 1. So Sean, what are all these parts and pieces? I don't want to completely spill the beans here, but GT Craig Turner is hand building me a 20-inch and a 24-inch, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you the color, the model, or any of that stuff, but they are coming very soon. So they were made already, and they were sent to powder coat. I don't know if you'll be able to figure out the color. I don't know if you'll be able to figure out the model, but based on the parts, comment down below, what do you think GT and Craig Turner are building for me over here at RADBMX?
And there it is, back from powder coat. Big shout out to Kurt at Mark Motors Powder Coating. You did a superb job. It came out so good. This bike was originally a candy apple red, and now it's a phenomenal white. And I talked earlier about bringing it out in the sun. And the reason for that is there's a slight hint of pearl in that powder coat right there. And I think it's gonna just pop in the sun and look so good. So now you see the color palette, the blue with the white. I think it's gonna look great with those Pro Class decals. I can't wait to put it together. I'm very excited to see this bike. I hope you are too. Let's get to putting this bike together and see what it looks like.
Okay, before we put it together, I just wanna show you how beautiful this powder coating is. He really did a superb job, and he didn't cover up any of the serial number or anything like that. No powder inside the bottom bracket. Did a great job. It's not too thick, not too thin, no ripples, no bubbles. Absolute perfect job. Made sure the threads are nice and clean. This is what you want when you powder coat a bike. You don't want to powder coat everything. You got to make sure that the areas that don't require powder don't have powder.
As you can see, it's coming along really well. I really like the way this build is turning out. It's actually gone together easier than most bikes that I build. So an excellent quality bike. Thank you, Mongoose. You're absolutely killing it with these bikes. If you want to get a Mongoose, go get one and build a custom build. Change the color, don't be afraid. Add decals, don't be afraid. Pick out any parts you want and add them to that, making for that custom rad build. Okay, I'm not going to show you the bike yet. I want to give you a full-blown reveal outside, as promised, under the sun. And let's just keep our fingers crossed we have sun. If not, I'll still do a reveal, and then on a sunny day, I'll take photos of it and a reel and post them on the Instagram. So make sure you're following the Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to finish this build up, and then we're going to do a reveal together. There it is. What do you think? A beautiful Mongoose Pro Class custom build. And this was made using one of the brand new 2024 Mongoose Super Goose. This bike came in a candy apple red with a bunch of blue components. And then I bought a bunch of things like the grips, the power disc, the chainring, the pedals, the brakes, the seat post clamp, the axle washers, the valve stem caps. I mean, the list kind of goes on, but with a little imagination, you can do that. The pads were actually quite hard to find. They had to come from overseas, but the decals were actually found by a guy in Arizona, and they match perfect. So have a vision, have a plan, acquire all the parts, have good people like Kurt, my powder coater, to do jobs like this. And working with these people, these companies, you can create your dream bike. This bike came out absolutely amazing. Shauna, you gonna sell this one? Yes, I am. I built this with the intention to sell it. So soon, and when I say soon, I don't know exactly when, but it will go up on my website at RADBMXBUILDS.com. Remember I told you, go to the Instagram. I will post, hey, it's for sale, and the site will go live. The people that see that post usually buy it first. So don't miss out. Get over to the Instagram, give a follow there. But before you do, please subscribe here. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for watching this content. I hope you thought that bike turned out rad. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you don't want to leave a comment, or do both. I'd really appreciate it. But as always, you know it. Stay rad.